Okay, now we're into August. So all of these are for 30 days of sketches, except for one, I believe. I did miss this whole last week. I just was not feeling very creative. So yeah, so this first one, I used my September Hip Kit Club Kit, and I was determined to use this paper, which I was not a fan of. I did not like, because I don't like this yellow color, and so I used it anyhow and just got it done, but I really like how this one turned out. And I think these are in order, or they're fairly close to in order. So this was day 2, I believe. I used, again, my kit from Hip Kits, and I cut out, this is fussy cut out of a Paint Fresh Studio paper, all of these little frames to create the grid layout that was for this sketch. And then I just added some embellishments. This one was also using that kit for day 3, I think. I'm just checking my phone here. Yep, day 3. I did a lot of my son's photos again this month, because, you know, sometimes when you get in that kind of vibe, you just keep going with it. So, yeah, again, using my Hip Kit, I pulled in some of the thickers from my stash, and then used some shimmers and Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins to finish it off. This one was for day 5, so did I miss? Oh, alright, I'm showing you out of order. This is day 5. This was also for 31 days of spooky scrapping with California Lucky, who's also Erica, and she is doing like a YouTube, Instagram hop, and so I had stencils. So I created my own stencil using it's like a doily cut file from Paige Evans. In the background you can see it. It's a little hard to see on video, but it's there. And I used some shimmery, I think it's called Mother of Pearl foils from Shimmers, and just pushed that through, and then I added this other cut file that I cut out, which was actually a wreath that came in a bunch of little pieces, and then used the Happy Haunting collection from Simple Stories, and I did kind of a black and white theme, and I really like how that turned out. This one is day 4, and this was for was it for something else? Oh, maybe not. I just really struggled with this one, and I was going to skip it. But again, I used my Hip Kit, except for this background paper is actually from October Afternoon. And so I fussy cut all these flowers out to represent, I think there's a bunch of circles in the background. And so I just cut the flowers out and then used this lovely fall photo of my family. And kind of, I don't know why everything's ending up a little monochromatic, but that's just like where my brain is going. So this one is day number 7, and this was for Spiegel Mom Scraps. I used a lot of one of the new sequin releases to create this kind of detail, and then also sprinkled them around. Again, using my Hip Kit Club, and of course Cardstock Warehouse. That's where I get all of my cardstock from. And they have this lovely one. It's a speckle tone paper, so it looks like handmade or recycled paper, and it's in like a cream color, which goes really well with crepe paper. So this one I absolutely 100% am in love with, and this was day 8 of 30 days of sketches. I love how this turned out. So again, Cardstock Warehouse cardstock, also used it here. I pulled out of my random bin of like cut aparts and things, I pulled out these bows that I've had forever. This is actually like a crepe paper cut apart thing from like a long time ago. These were fussy cut out of a Heidi Swap paper. I can't remember who designed that paper, but little pieces of doily here, and again some shimmers, and these cork stars are old from Spiegel Mom Scraps. Okay, and then I started running out of my hip kit, so this one was kind of the last thing. I think maybe I pulled in like some little bits, but that was my last like full layout using the hip kit. So here I pulled out some journaling cards. This was day 9, and I used this beautiful paper from Cocoa Vanilla. Was it? Yes, I believe so. And I love this wood grain. So then I pulled out all of these cards that these ones are from Scraptastic. These are We Are Memory Keepers, and this one is like a cut apart from a Teresa Collins paper. And yeah, just a lovely photo of my son. He's going to be going away to college next year, and so like I'm on this little kick to scrap all of his photos. So this one's titled Today is a Gift, and yeah, just really love that. Here I went all crazy with color and did yellow on yellow. So one of these is a photo play paper, one of these is a damask love paper. This one, and this is photo play, I'm pretty sure. I used some sparkly cardstock from Cardstock Warehouse. These little pom-poms are from Spiegel Mom Scraps. And then I used a lot of the Pebbles birthday collection. I pulled in these really bright stickers, and yeah, this is so much fun. I love how this one turned out. This one was for Spiegel Mom Scraps, and again, we're out of order here. But anyway, Spiegel Mom Scraps, this was for day 13, and I created my own stencil, this time just using some thick cardstock, and sprayed it on the background using this Sapphire Spritz from Shimmers. I love this color blue. Look at how like gorgeous it is. Like Sapphire is really perfect name for it. But anyhow, I used this Amy Tangerine paper from Better Together, and then I created my own title using a cut file from Paper Issues. I believe the cut file is called Jawsome or something, maybe Shark Week. So cut this out of some navy cardstock and then used my I think Wink Stella glitter pen to paint over it. Created a little shaker, and then included these 2 shark fins, and then did some stamping and some splatters, and then a lot of sequins went into the making of this one. Really fun. Again, monochromatic, I don't know. So this one was for day 11. I think I skipped day 12. After the weekends, it's really hard sometimes to like scrap because I'm on like work hangover time. So I did end up skipping like the Monday or the Tuesday after working because it was just too much. But I did have other videos up throughout the day, throughout the month. So if I didn't have a layout, most likely I had something else up. But anyhow, I used the Simple Stories Happy Haunting collection and did this layout of my son. He went as, I think this was like the last time he went trick-or-treating, and he went as a prisoner. Did this fun banner down here that was in the sketch, but I used a bunch of die cuts for it. Continued my clustering up there, added a bunch of Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins, and I have this paper like flipped kind of opposite of what most people would do, because I felt like it made it stand out a little bit more. But I feel like most people would put the dark stripe down at the bottom, but I really liked how it turned out this way. Okay, this one was for day 14, and I used just some stuff from my stash. Yeah, like just a bunch of different stuff. So this is from Chamel, this paper is from Dear Lizzie, this one I think is crepe paper. There is a video so far for every single one of these layouts, so you can definitely check out more in depth if you're interested, but I just kind of cut these on a diagonal, adhered them down, and then ruffled up the edges. Just fun little pictures of my dog who likes to sleep with her tongue sticking out. Yeah, that's when you know she's in a really good sleep, is her little tongue sticks out. So next up, this one was for Cardstock Warehouse, and this is way out of order. This, I think, like going forward, these are all out of order. But for Cardstock Warehouse, there is a video for this, but this was not using a sketch. So I used these pumpkin cut files from the Shimmers Paint Shop. They do have cut files as well. Also this title. I used some of the speckle tone paper in the background. I really love it for fall because it's a really warm kind of paper, and so I just really wanted to use it. I coated it with some gesso, and then after I had the pumpkins kind of assembled, so I used, you know, 3 fall colors. This is a red, which is vermilion. This is tangy orange, and this one is orange fizz. And then the copper Star Dream paper, which is super shiny. So then I matched some Shimmers colors to these pumpkins and kind of painted like a shadow around them. And then that wasn't enough, so I decided to go crazy with all the sequins to really make those pumpkins pop. And I feel like that really, you know, made them special. So I added, again, a bunch of these little leaves. And yes, I'm sorry, one of my neighbors, I don't know what they're doing out there. If you can hear that, I apologize, but there is a video for that one, I believe. Alright, let's see if I can get back into order a little bit. So this one is for Everyday Inspiration. This is day 15 sketch, and I think the sketch is actually like this, but I turned it on its side. I love this. Like, I want to make one of these flowers. What are they doing out there?
I think it's the apartment building.
Oh. Okay. Anyhow, I think I'm going to do one of these flowers just to hang up on my wall. So this, again, Cardstock Warehouse paper, and I used a bunch of Shimmers colors. Maybe 2 or 3 Shimmers colors. Again, a video for this, so even though I can't remember exactly what I did, it is in the video. But I hand drew this sunflower and then painted it in. And then I used the back side of the paintbrush, so the handle side, and put all of these dots down to create the inside of the sunflower. It was my turn for picking the inspiration, so I picked a sunflower as my inspiration, and then I just used random things out of my stash to kind of finish off this layout. I did use some tulle and some crepe paper, and yeah, I really, really, really love this one a lot. Next up was this one for day 18. I must have skipped a few here, I guess. So day 18, and it was like a circle photo, and then I had mixed media in the background and some flowers around it. So I chose to do it on this fun paper from the She Blooms collection by Illustrated Faith. It already had these florals kind of printed onto the background as well as the stripes. So I used some gesso and just did some like faux stamping using some bubble wrap, and then I can you call Evie? And then I stamped around the outside. I used this cut file that I cut out of some diamond glitter paper from Cardstock Warehouse. It has a wreath behind it to represent the circle, and then my title is I Put a Spell on You. I just used this fun Snapchat photo of myself. The flowers are cut out of another She Blooms collection paper, and using a Paige Evans cut file for rolled flowers, and then I added some Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins. I love this one. It's super, super dimensional. Next up we have, almost finished. So next up we have this one. I struggled again with this one because I wanted to do, like, there was this triangle pattern on the background, but I didn't want to cover up this paper. So this is from Simple Stories, like it's an older paper, but I loved the wood grain. So I just decided to stitch the triangles on the background, and then I used some different cocoa vanilla papers to cut out these stars, and then a wood grain or a wood veneer paper. This is birch wood veneer from Cardstock Warehouse, and then I just hand drew the stars and cut them out. I used Cocoa Vanilla Studios to embellish. This is kind of my title here: take photos, make memories, repeat. And then I added a bunch of Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins around. It's kind of a like girly boy page, I guess, because of the pink and the butterflies and everything, but I'm totally okay with that. Okay, so then we have this one for day 20. That last one was what, day 19, this one's day 20. So this one I struggled with a little bit too. There was a big heart over here. I believe this was a page map one, and so I just stitched it using my sewing machine. Again, there's a video for this. You can kind of see it there. Pulled a bunch of stuff out of my random bin. So I used this paper and then I just built off of there. There's a lot of little things like journaling cards tucked in here. I cut this viewfinder in half. I cut this camera out of a like 2x2 square or 3x3 square, and then this is the scraps from that was left over. More little journaling cards, and then some leftover cut files from Confessions of a Paper Addict. And it's just, again, my son modeling masks I was making. So for day 22, I have this Shimmers layout, and this was for the Shimmers design team. Samantha created this beautiful floral cut file, and so it's called the Stella Flower. And there's another little rolled piece that is supposed to go in the center of each of the flowers, but I wanted to add some sequins to it to do the center, so I left that part out. But I used like a bunch of different Shimmers colors so that each flower has multiple like layers of color, and I just loved how they turned out. And then I matched some Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins with it. Yeah. Excuse me, but this does match the sketch, and then did a bunch of splatters as well. So this was also using the Hip Kit. Then I have this layout for day 24, and I mean, this one was pretty simple to put together. I followed the sketch really closely. Again, it's kind of monochromatic. I just picked out some papers. I think these two are Photo Play. This one is Dear Lizzie. This is some of that birch wood veneer from Cardstock Warehouse, and then just added a bunch of Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins. They're definitely my go-to. But yeah, just a nice kind of simple layout. Then for day 25, I did this layout, and again, this is one that I struggled with, but then once I came up with the idea, I'm absolutely in love with it. Again, it kind of turned out monochromatic, but I did add some pops of orange to this one. So I started out by doing a bunch of stitching in the background using my sewing machine and different colors of thread. I started white, then silver, then gray, then black, and kind of created this spider web in the background. I pulled out my Halloween embellishments, and yeah, I really love how this turned out. Did some splatters of Night Moves, which is a black mist from Spiegel Mom Scraps, or not Spiegel Mom Scraps, I'm sorry, Shimmers paints, and then I added Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins to finish it off. And then finally, this one is for day, oh, I don't know, I didn't post it apparently on Instagram. Well, let's see. This one was for day, I don't even know. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But anyhow, there's a video for it. I used the Amy Tangerine Better Together collection. Again, this was super simple to put together. Literally cut out 4 squares of different pattern papers, backed my little photos here, and then fussy cut out some florals I printed them on some diamond glitter paper. I don't know if you can tell that it's glitter paper from here, but then I fussy cut them out because I do own the digital collection. This is one of the older Amy Tangerine ones. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head which one it is, but yeah, again, super simple. Did some faux stitching with my pen around the squares, and then around the outside I just did a doodly border, added some Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins, and that finished it off. So I want to say thank you so much to Christy for hosting the 30 days of sketches. I hope you enjoyed my layouts that I did get done, and also the extra videos that I popped up when I wasn't able to have layouts completed. I'm really sorry I didn't get to finish this month, but you know, it just kind of got away from me, and the mojo's been a little low. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!